Hey, it's Sick Boy from the Gaming Anti Collective, and welcome to the Anarchic for the 9th of March 2013. Right, okie dokie, there has been a fair, interesting bit of news this week, really. Obviously, my last week has been on EA, and EA has blown up all over the news this week, so I will be covering all those things again, so it's going to be another EA-centric issue, but can't help it, the news is just full of them acting like twats. Anyway, stay away from that. Right, the Vita. I brought up before, the Vita sales aren't great, and that the hardware itself and the technology itself is a fantastic device. It really is. It's not competing well against mobile phones or against the 3DS terribly well, mainly because there's not really enough games. You can play old PS1 and PS2 games on there, but the catalogue's not really there, and it's kind of too high-tech almost for the market, so it's struggling. Anyway, they slashed the price in Japan only, and they have seen a 4 times increase in the rate of sales for that product. That's a message for you, Sony. Cut the cost of your product. Just, do you know what? I know you don't want to take a loss again on hardware, but if you want this product to be vital in the PlayStation 4's life cycle, you expect people to pick that up and your PS4, you are going to need to take a loss on it. Or you're going to need to start manufacturing it at a better rate and making more money for yourselves, because as you can see, cutting price, you quadruple your sales overnight. That's what you're looking at. Because frankly, the price point is what's keeping me away from the Vita right now, because I'm buying other things, I'm trying to build my retro catalogue, and to be honest, the idea of then spending out another couple of £100 on a handheld, you're not swaying me. There's nothing in there that pulls me in. Sorry, there just isn't. Okay, I announced with the What's Out video saying that the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked on the 3DS, which is a remake of the first game, and Devil Survivor 2, which is coming out on the DS, were due to come out in early March. Now it's been said that has now been pushed back. It was due to be released on last Friday. It's now going to be put back to April. So if you were looking for those games, you're not going to see them on the market until April. And with regards to also Scribblenauts, which is on both the Wii U and the 3DS, those will now not be available until the 22nd of this month. Again, previously it was going to be available last week, but that's fallen through. Right, now on to the inevitable. EA. Fucking hell. EA is having... I'm loving the fact EA is having a shit couple of weeks, because they've acted like douches for so long. It's lovely to see them get their comeuppance. Right, first things first. This is going to make a lot of people pissed. Right, Crysis 3, as you know, has just been released recently. It's been out on the PC, it's been out on the Xbox 360, been out on the PS3. It has had a fairly lukewarm response, to be honest. I like the Crysis games. Crysis 1 is one of my favourite PC games of all time. Crysis 2 I enjoyed. Crysis 3 is not getting the massive... It seems they're not getting the huge gushing praise that certainly 1 got. But as it stands, it was coming out on the Wii U. Now, not only was it coming out on the Wii U, but it was finished on the Wii U. It was ready. And EA told Crytek to pull the product and not sell it. And the reason for that is because EA were demanding that Nintendo accept Origin software on the Wii U, in order that you need to log into your Origin account to play Crysis 3. And Nintendo told them to shove it up their arse. And they couldn't reach a decision, and EA has decided, essentially, an act of, for want of an emotive word, an act of commercial terrorism, and have told Nintendo, well, you don't play ball, you don't get our games. I hope, if you are a fan of Crytek's games, you like Crysis, you wanted to play it on your Wii U, you were interested to see just how it would work with the interface of the pad and everything, maybe you should drop yourself a line to either Crytek or EA and tell them just how fucked off you are, that they thought that they would actually go, no, you need to have our software in order to play this game. When you don't need Origins, they just want Origins because they want your numbers and they want your details and they want you logged onto their servers all the bloody time. That's bullshit, and that's fucking... That is bullying. You're trying to bloody bully Nintendo into doing it for you. I'm glad to say that in this instance, Nintendo did the right thing and said, shove Origins. Okay, next thing. Oh, fuck. SimCity. I don't know how any of you maybe have missed the shitstorm that's happened in SimCity over the last week. Fucking hell, it's been a shitstorm. I kind of wish I'd waited a couple of days to do my EA video, I swear to God, because this is fucking mad. Okay, those of you who know, or if you don't know, EA released Max's game SimCity. SimCity 5, it's been rebranded as SimCity. It's a highly anticipated game. People have been really desperate to play it. I really enjoyed the old SimCity games. Anyway, not only was it priced massively highly for digital copies, I think in the UK it was $69.99, which is an obscene price. Which those of you who aren't in the UK and have followed my previous comments, I brought up EA in my last video for saying they'd raised the digital costs to $59.99. That's another £10. That's another $15 on top of that price. Dicks. Anyway, not only the online DRM, the servers wouldn't take the load. So people couldn't log in. It was Diablo 3 all over again. It's absolutely... People couldn't log in. No one could log in. The pre-order copies... Now this is an interesting point. People who digitally pre-ordered. I don't know why you digitally pre-ordered, but you did. Those of you who did digitally pre-order a game like there's somehow a limited number of digital games. And there was no preloading feature. So at midnight, people logged on in the US on the first day to download their game, and they couldn't. The only way they could download their game is if they purchased it again, and a new purchase downloaded immediately. But the pre-orders were held back. That is fucked. Okay, so what else is wrong with it? Oh, Christ. It was deleting people's saves. People's save games are deleted. Not only that, of course, the online DRM, the fact that you have to log into their server to play what is essentially a one-player game, but they've made like a... They have made it a built-in multiplayer so that you have other cities in the same area and you can trade resources and stuff. But people don't really play SimCity for that kind of thing. Yeah, it is a... You make your city. That's the whole point of the game. Really, the multiplayer aspect, they just threw that in. They didn't need to put that DRM in. There is nothing to say they need to put that DRM in. That's fucking shit. They just like to be able to control you and have you logged into their servers. Now, they've claimed it's in order for them to process a lot of the calculations and things for you and take the load off your machine. As it turns out, their servers can't handle the load, and even those who have logged on are finding that the fast speed has been disabled in the game because their servers cannot handle the calculations. This is a PR butt raping. I have not seen a game get this badly slammed since Diablo 3, which was the last big PC release to have massive DRM connection and login issues. So it's lovely to see that both cases, both big, always online DRM PC releases over the last 12 months or so, have both been a spectacular failure, and I'm fucking delighted. Not only has that happened, but the review scores were slashed. Some people went from 9.5s to 4s out of 10 after the post-launch debacle. They have slated it. Some reviewers have stuck to their guns because they reviewed the game based on their early access codes. There are only a few thousand people playing the game. The servers can handle it just fine. All of a sudden, hundreds of thousands of people want to play that game day one. Boom! No fucking chance. Now, they say they're going to patch this out, but this is shit. They had pre-orders, okay? They should have at least had server load for all the pre-orders and at least 60% of all copies shipped, because they know that most of those copies are going on day one. Or if anything, 100% of the units shipped, plus all the digital pre-orders, plus a good 30-40% extra for day one digital purchases. But they didn't do that, did they? They fucked it up. They wanted to scrimp and save and maximise their profits, and all they have done is make people furious. And I find it really fucking funny, because a lot of people speak against EA, don't like EA, and now even EA diehards, even massive fans, are pissed that you've taken away the access to their game. You have just made enemies of your best friends. Congratulations, EA. The shitstorm approacheth. It's fucking marvellous. Right. Oh dear. Bit of good news that I'm going to cover in a bit more detail. But EA appear to be backtracking on the microtransactions thing. Now I'm going to do another video coming up very soon, and I'm going to cover it in more detail. But in essence, on the grounds of the pressure and the bad PR they've received, they've gone back on themselves and said they're not going to put microtransactions into all their games. Now, I don't know whether they'll stand for that. They still might put it in all their big games, but they have come back and they have clarified, oh, no, actually, we didn't want to put it in all our games. We didn't mean that. Bullshit. The chief financial officer said it. He fucking damn sure knew what he was talking about. And everyone told you they weren't standing for it. And then, look at you, come crawling like a little bitch to appease your consumers. Thank you for reminding us just how much power we have over you. For those of you who thought it was completely irrelevant to complain about it, a couple of days of people speaking out about it, and they have bottled it. Now, they might come back on it again, but this is why it is our responsibility to keep hammering the point home that we will not stand for shoddy fucking practices. Right, the last thing to mention with regards to EA. Jesus Christ. Now, I mentioned in my previous video that they have been supporting LGBT rights. Lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgendered. Now, I am all for the fact that they are doing something positive. Although, you could cynically ask, why aren't they standing up against sexism in gaming? Why aren't they standing up against, I don't know, shoddy fucking business practices? Because they know full well that they are guilty of all of this shit. But, anyway, yesterday, they decided to put out a video. In amongst, now I know they've had this conference planned and everything, but in amongst the biggest PR shitstorm EA have seen for quite some time, since the Mass Effect ending, really. Whereas this one is actually far more warranted. Whereas at least the Mass Effect ending, they could defend it on the grounds of its artistic license and what you... Oh yeah, you thought... Yeah, we said we were going to give that, but that's kind of an artistic opinion. However, this is a, definite... Your game is fucked and everyone hates you for talking about microtransactions. Anyway, they released a video. And I'll link it in the description field. I'll put all my links to the information in there, as I normally do. They did a video called Hate Isn't a Game. And they decided to play gay interactions from Dragon Age 2, Mass Effect 3, and The Sims. And it was just a minute and a half of terrible music and gay video game characters kissing or hugging or getting in or out of bed to each other and an old gay couple getting married. And it was the response they had from the gaming community. I applaud every fucking one of you who went on there and said something or thumbs it down. And if you haven't already, feel free to go speak your piece. Because everyone, okay, well not everybody, there are a couple of trolls who were commenting on every single person and going, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, you're retarded. And it was, they were just trolling. They were definitely just trolling. They didn't believe a word they were saying. They were just out there to troll. Trolls being trolls. Irrelevant. A couple of people going, oh, I like this video. This is nice. Because probably they're not aware of the underlying issue. That the fact is, almost everybody else, okay, likes and the dislike bar is 90% of the bar. They received something like 3,000 dislikes and 300 likes. And, like, last time I checked, about 1,700 comments, the vast majority of which is, fuck you EA, this is not how you do PR, we see through this shallow bullshit, we know what fuckers you are, and a huge chunk of them were gay people saying, as a gay person, as a gay gamer, fuck off, you don't get to speak to me, and Jesus Christ, that video was horrible and tacky. Yeah, there were a number of homophobic fuckwits who came in and went, I'm never buying it. I don't know why they're from the south of America. Sorry, that's really stereotypical. But they was going, I'm never going to buy an EA game again. You faggot enabling, blah, 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 blah. These people are fucking morons. Some other people came on going, Allah will seek vengeance on you for enabling gays because it is banned. And you go, these people are fucking morons. And are to be ignored. Now... One thing we need to be quite cautious about is that EA are trying desperately to pull the if you hate us, it's because you're a homophobe card. That's what I feel. Now, I don't think that's the purpose necessarily of this video. I think the people who are running this campaign, this inclusivity campaign, are probably, the individuals running it, probably feel very passionately that what they're doing is for the good of the gaming community. Because not everyone who works for EA is a dick. The people who run EA are dicks. Definitely. But a lot of people who work for EA are just doing their job. And the people who run this campaign, day to day, I'm almost certain, are decent people who believe in the message that people should be, that gayness is absolutely acceptable. People are variants of different sexualities, and every sexuality is equally acceptable. That is what I think they genuinely believe, and so I don't feel like giving them too much shit personally. They have a Twitter feed, and I've commented on them, on their Twitter feed, saying, it feels very disingenuous, this campaign. It feels, not that I don't believe you necessarily are disingenuous, but that the people who funded this campaign have done so for PR, purely for good PR. That's the only reason they've done it. Why have they done it? They're not going to make any more money off it. They're not going to make any more money off it. And they are opening themselves, I'll give them the credit, they are opening the people running this campaign to take a shitload of flack from Fox News and all the sort of hardcore right-wing Christian fundamentalist groups. And although, I've said this before, that although it's good that they're supporting LGBT rights, this is just a fucking piss-poor attempt at stopping their consumers calling them cunts, and it hasn't worked, has it, EA? Because everybody, I was laughing my tits off. I could have brought popcorn. I was sitting there, I made a comment, some of mine saw me and was like, oh, glad to see you here. Seriously, I sat there, I commented 2 or 3 times, and one of the things I said was basically, I hope you're reading these comments, EA, because this is what your consumers think of you. This is why I and thousands of other people like me are regularly boycotting EA games. A couple of subscribers who I chat to, really nice guys, they have announced, I think one already, what's his name, 042, I think has already boycotted EA games. And also Mr. Sam Explains, who does walkthroughs and doing a few sort of comedy skit videos and stuff. And his videos on Omegle are damn funny. But he has come out and he has said how fucking pissed he is. And he's openly boycotting games, not only personally, but on his channel. And I thoroughly endorse him for saying that. It's a good thing to have said that, Sam. It's good stuff, man. And I think everybody, genuinely, if you feel pissed off about how EA act, don't buy their games. Now I'm going to come on to another point, which basically reinforces this. And I find myself partially agreeing with someone, however thinking he is a massive douche at the same time. And that is Cliffy B. Because since he left bloody, was it Relic? Was it Relic? I can't remember. Anyway, Gears of War developer, I've completely forgotten. Anyway, he has come out in defence of EA. So basically, stop having to go at EA, Valve are also cunts. Well, for starters, he makes a couple of points that I agree with. However, they make him into a massive twat. Firstly, he said, I don't see why EA gets all this shit. It's not reasonable. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. They're a business. They're there to make money. Rah-rah-rah. Usual old COD defensive shit. And then it's hilarious that he said, the vocal minority, blah, blah. If you don't like it, vote with your wallets. Well, a couple of things to say to you, little Clifford there. One of them is people are voting with their wallets. That is why the sales of Dead Space 3 were 26% down in the UK on the first week over Dead Space 2. And EA wanted a massive increase of sales. And they haven't seen that massive increase in sales. They've budgeted for over double the sales of Dead Space 2 and they're probably not going to make it. On top of that, I'll say this. This is what pisses me off, okay? Because this man's a professional in the gaming industry. He's I think he's 37 years old. He's been in the gaming industry since he was a teenager. Okay, this is how fucking stupid he is, okay? I'll see if you can spot this interesting point that just made me giggle. He was saying about, these people are the vocal minority. Your average guy who buys just Madden and GTA every year doesn't know, nor does he care. He has no problem throwing a few bucks more at a game, but because why not? Okay. A couple of reasons that makes you a fucking moron. One, they're only buying one EA product a year, which makes them a pretty fucking piss-poor customer as far as EA are concerned. Secondly, there's not a Grand Theft Auto released every year, you fucking idiots. Thirdly, basically what you're saying is people who are too fucking stupid or don't know any better aren't going to care because they don't know about it, whereas people who do know about it are going to get pissed off. So what you're saying is, fuck the gamers who are knowledgeable or serious gamers. No, all the industry really cares about is the casual market. Well, fuck you, Cliff. Fuck you. I hope you never get a fucking job in this industry again. Your idea of being a pundit is stupid and twattish, and seriously, grow the fuck up. Cliffy fucking B. Jesus Christ, you're nearly 40. And you sound like a Jersey Shore fucking reject. In fact, you look like somebody knocked out the casting. You didn't look quite douchey enough to be on Jersey Shore. You're a fucking twat. Take your fucking ass out of the media. You have nothing of interest to say. Because you know what? I and anyone else can say whatever the hell they want about their opinion about how things are. That doesn't mean people have the right to be abusive, people have the right to break the law, but they do have the right to comment. Right now, this is commentary on current events. That is my right, that is anyone else's right. Don't deride people who want to speak out. Because what the fuck are you doing? Who are you speaking for? You don't even have a job, dipshit. I want a career break. Fuck off. Have you not got yourself a TV show or anything yet, which is what clearly you were hoping for? Because, dear Christ. You're like, seriously, you're nearly 40 years old and you look like that, and you look like that kind of creepy big brother who hangs around at university parties. And everyone will wish would go away because he keeps leching on all the girls. That's what you look like to me. You're a sad fucking excuse for a human being. Shut the fuck up if you've got nothing interesting to say. Or, you know, seriously, if your opinion is everyone else needs to shut up and just take it, fuck you. If you want to have a discourse, a debate, discuss a view, go discuss a view. You're an arsehole. Go fuck yourself. And I say that on behalf of everybody else who agrees. And a lot of people think that you're a complete and utter twat. You're a bullshit spewing fuckwit. Stop making comments, you're a worthless turd. Anyway, guys, I'll be following this up with a couple of videos, actually, because I know it's been about a week since I've done one. I've got a couple of things I want to cover. One being a bit of a happy one, and another one being my top 10 list of video game industry dickheads, which I've had a lot of feedback from you guys about, which is lovely. So, anyway, you've been looking through the 2020 vision of the Anarchic Eye, and I'll catch you guys later.